I'm not allowed to touch the remote during movie night anymore. I'm not even allowed to have an opinion on what we're going to watch. Now, this wasn't a malignant decision on my friend's part. It came from experience and self-preservation. Every time I get the remote, we spend at least 2 hours scrolling through Netflix before I pick the worst movie anyone in the room has ever seen. This isn't a matter of ignorance. I'm not accidentally picking bad movies. It's a matter of taste. I love bad movies. I love bad movies more than I love good movies, and I'm tired of pretending that's wrong. I know what you're gonna say. Dyer, why would you watch something bad when there are movies like The Shawshank Redemption, the Winnie the Pooh Heffalump movie, The Lord of the Rings? I'm not discrediting any of those movies. All of them are undeniably incredible. However, and this is a controversial statement, I firmly believe if you find the right kind of bad movie, it can blow everything else out of the water. I don't know why my friends let me choose what movie we watched last night. They could have been giving me a second chance, or they might have forgotten why they weren't supposed to do that. Regardless of their reasoning, I knew I needed to remind them why we made this rule in the first place. I found the worst movie I have ever seen. This movie makes The Room look like it deserves an Oscar. I've seen car crashes more coherent than this film. I don't just want to talk about this movie. I feel like I have to. I feel like I'm going to die if I don't. I need to talk to somebody about this. The movie I'm referring to is a cult classic called Fateful Findings. Now, don't feel bad if you haven't heard of it. Up until last year, the only way to see it was to pay the director $30 to burn a CD and mail it to you. That director is the legendary Breen. Neil is truly an indescribable being, and I already don't have enough. Oh, you hear that? That means it's time to start the movie. As with all the greats, the film starts with 2 straight minutes of establishing shots, 30 seconds of which are dedicated to staring at this book. It's not an important book. It literally never shows up again. It's a cool book, I guess.
Look, Leah, a mushroom.
Are we gonna ignore what just happened? Really? Really? I don't think anything could better represent what this movie is going to be than that. 10 straight seconds of a mushroom disappearing. What, you want to know why it can do that? You think you're getting an explanation? Fuck you, how dare you ask that question? This first sequence is a flashback showing Neil and his childhood friend having a magical day.
It's a magical day. It's a magical day.
It's a magical day. Except it's not a magical day because his childhood friend is leaving forever and he will never see her again. Sorry, can we see that again? You know what? Funny enough, that's exactly how I react to bad news too. Hello? Oh, hey, what's up? I just wanted to come in and let you know those stock options you bought. Yeah, they're all gone. The economy's actually in shambles. The news says we're entering the Second Great Depression, and the rapture happened last night. But it only took dogs, for some reason. Man! Also, Sabrina Carpenter blocked you on Instagram. Oh. You don't even follow her. Quiet. I'm processing. Is that supposed to be the kid? Did the flashback happen in the 1800s? Why is he so old? This is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. So Neil's talking to his wife on the phone, and the camera's cutting between each person while they're talking. It's a really common cinematic shot. It's used in hundreds of movies. The reason why this one's so special is you can only hear half the conversation.
Yeah? Are you on your way home? Okay.
And then Jenny said, oh my gosh, you are not gonna believe what Jenny said. No, she did not. Oh, Neil, there's a car coming. Neil, there's a car coming. Neil, you need to get out of the way. Neil! Oh my goodness. Oh, he's dead. While Neil's bleeding to death on the pavement, this woman takes her sweet, sweet time stepping out of her Rolls Royce. Now first, and I say this with the utmost respect. What's up, baby girl? How you doing? What's going on? As much as we see her legs, we never see this woman's face. All we know about her is she hit the main character with her car. She's clearly very rich. She's got a killer thigh routine, and she's related to the magic shenanigans that have been going on. She's clearly an important character though, right? No, she's actually so unimportant, her name isn't even in the credits.
Call 911. Call 911.
It's the Rolls Royce that hit him. I saw it. I'm a witness.
Yeah, me too. It was her fault. $20,000 if I... Shut up. Do you know how much rent costs in this city? This has got to be the weirdest camera angle I've ever seen. I think it's supposed to be Neil's point of view as he's, dying on the tarmac. But if that's true, you can't see anyone's legs. Is he hovering 2 feet off the ground? With this movie, he might be. I'm so sorry, Neil. The doctor said... They said the mask was necessary. I told them it makes you look like a dumbass, but they wouldn't listen to me. Can you hear me, Neil? Can you hear me? According to the doctor, Neil's in pretty bad shape.
He's in critical condition. Unconscious. And it does not look good.
I feel like it'd look a lot better if his oxygen mask was actually doing anything. Neil is in such a bad state that the director of neurology herself comes in to perform some tests. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure the brain's up in the noggin and not in the wrist. After everyone leaves to let Neil recuperate, a miracle happens. The blind starts shaking. The magic rock in his hand exists. His eye opens and he gets out of bed. He gets out of bed. He gets out of Neil, we don't need to see all this. There's a full minute and a half of this movie that's just Neil getting out of bed. And I know when you're injured it can take a while to move, but for a movie, you Neil Breen ass. Neil Breen ass. Neil Breen ass. Hello? Oh, goodbye? Neil manages to get home somehow and decides to wash the blood off his body, except there's nothing to wash off. There's blood going down the drain, but when it cuts to his body, he's perfectly clean. You're gonna have to take my word for it because Neil is far more naked in that scene than he should ever feel comfortable with, and I am not subjecting you to more Neil Breen ass. And then, before you can really understand what's happening, we're in the next scene. This is where we learn Neil is a famous author and he's arguing with some publishers about his deadlines.
I know. Your deadlines. I've got deadlines. I'm not signing it. That's it. Leave me alone. Do not call me anymore.
I mean, I get it, man. Deadlines can be rough. Maybe you'd have a better chance of meeting them if you turned your computers on. And then, again, as quickly as it came, the scene is gone and we're in a new area. Neil doesn't really believe in transitions. Throughout this movie's hour and 40-minute runtime, there are exactly 3, 2 of which are this same scene, just replayed at different parts of the movie. Trying to guess what's coming next is like being in a boxing match and trying to read your opponent's next move. Are they punching? Is it a feint? What kind of punch is it? Do you block, step back, duck? If you duck, left or right? Do you go for the liver, the stomach, the chin? There are so many choices, and while all this is happening, someone in the audience pulls out a gun and shoots you. That wouldn't have happened if he was subscribed.
We don't have sex anymore. Do you realize that?
Where did that come from?
I find myself asking that a lot while watching this film. This is a pretty basic plot point. Neil's best friend and his wife are having a big fight and is causing some major stress for their daughter. This actually could have been interesting, but it's not, because the entire conversation lasts 4 sentences and then the scene changes again. Now we're back in Neil's office and he's looking for his pills. A minute later, we're in the trash bag room while he's having a magic rock-induced dream which has more Neil Breen ass. And then a minute later, he's on his way to talk to a therapist about getting more pills. The therapist says, and I'm not even exaggerating, 3 lines and then we're back in Neil's office. I do not understand how this movie is moving so fast when every single shot is so slow, but every single line is repeated twice.
I think of you every day. I think of you every day.
I don't understand how a movie this bad can be so entertaining. It breaks every rule of good cinematography. The script is fragmented. The acting is atrocious. Even the way the scenes are blocked is bad. I should not be able to count the pores on your nose, Neil. I don't need to see that. I'm gonna skip 5 whole minutes to get to another one of my favorite scenes. There's a lot that happens in those 5 minutes, including, you guessed it, more Neil Breen ass, but I really just want to talk about my 2 favorite scenes. Neil is working on his book when he starts feeling some head pain. He's dealt with this a few times, but this is the worst it's been in the entire movie. His hands are shaking, he's spilling coffee all over his computer. It's so bad, he falls face forward onto his desk. And then I guess he gets thirsty or something because he goes back for a drink of the coffee. He keeps doing this for like 30 seconds, and then we instantly cut to the next scene. What I love about this scene, besides the obvious, is Neil genuinely thought this was the best way to represent whatever it was he was trying to show. And that's true of everything in this movie. Every weird camera angle, every disjointed and poorly delivered line, every decision was made with the idea it was the best possible option. Movies like Sharknado and The Velocipaster, as much as I love them, don't have that feeling because they were made to be bad. Fateful Findings was supposed to be a good movie, which makes it so much funnier. It's kind of like working at a theater and seeing 3 kids in a trench coat try to buy a ticket. You know immediately that's 3 kids in a trench coat, and technically you're supposed to stop them, but it's way more fun to just play along. You know immediately that Fateful Findings is not a good movie, and according to pesky little things like Rotten Tomatoes, the Academy, the general consensus of the public, we shouldn't bother watching it. But we do, because it's way more fun to just play along. There's about 2 minutes left before we reach the half-hour mark, and all that happens is an incredibly uncomfortable dinner scene.
Dinner will be ready soon. I'm hungry. But I have this really interesting project about elephants in Africa.
I'm sure Dylan doesn't want to hear about that now.
I want to hear about our project.
I think I'd rather get my teeth pulled again than have to sit through this. Okay, we're gonna skip a bunch so that we can talk about my favorite scene in the entire movie, but I'm gonna give you a super quick rundown so you understand what's going on. This is Neil's new girlfriend, who's actually the head of neurology at the hospital he was admitted to. She's also his childhood friend from the start of the movie. That means these people are the same age. That has nothing to do with the story, that's just there's absolutely no way that's true. The reason why they're dating now is because Neil's wife committed suicide by drinking wine and downing pills. She was a pill addict because she felt incredibly guilty for 2 reasons. She felt responsible for Neil's friend committing suicide, but she doesn't know that Neil's friend didn't commit suicide. He was killed by his wife, who made it look like a suicide.
Can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
On top of that, she felt really guilty for accidentally revealing that Neil wasn't writing a new book, but was instead hacking into government and corporate databases to write an expose on all the greed, corruption, and hypocrisy that was going on there.
I'm going to continue hacking into these government systems to see what I can find out about all this national and international corruption I know is going on.
She revealed this information to one of Neil's 2 therapists, who then gave that information to the bad guys, which led to them kidnapping his new girlfriend. We skipped a lot. There's a lot that goes on in this movie. The first thing Neil's got to do is figure out where she is. The people he's agitated are rich and powerful. She could be on the other side of the planet. She's in a parking lot right next to his house. But Dyer, how did he know she was there? Stop asking questions. There's no answer to that. He just shows up. He roughs up the guard a little bit, but oh no, the guard doesn't have the key. That's okay. He can just use his teleportation ability. You know, his teleportation ability. The one he's had the entire movie. What do you mean he's never used it before? Of course he's used it before. What are you talking about? I'm not crazy. You're crazy. He's used it all the time. Once he's in the trailer, he makes the actually rather astute decision to have her put her blindfold on again. He doesn't want her to freak out when he teleports them, and if she can't see, that's not a problem. But then he takes it a step further.
I'm going to put the blindfold back on. Trust me. We're going to get out of here, but you can't see what's about to happen. I'm going to put the gag back in.
I love this movie so much. I know I've been ragging on this film for however long this movie's been going for, but I want to make something clear. I have a lot of respect for Neil Breen. Regardless of the quality of the end product, making anything, especially something artistic, takes a monumental amount of effort. Taking that and then showing it to the general public is even more intense. There's nothing that will make you feel more vulnerable than showing people something you've put your heart and soul into. I would know. It's happening to me right now with you. This is a film that was made by a man who clearly did not know what he was doing, but he did it anyway. He's the embodiment of the idea that good or bad, you should be proud of the art that you've made. That you shouldn't stop yourself from making something just because you don't think you're good enough. He's made 5 movies. None of them are better than this one, but he's made 5. What Neil's done is he's shown everyone that says they can't make something good, all the people that say they don't have the talent or the skill or whatever other bullshit excuse they're using to justify not even trying, that it doesn't matter. If you want to make something, then make it.